no one would have given the reaction that we've seen at the end of this game. Quite unbelievable, but thankfully VAR came to the rescue. It was the right decision. The linesman got it wrong. VAR came to the rescue. VAR got it right. Leicester win the game right at the death. 2-1, and the run continues. Well done, boys.
Jerry, your man of the match will be much appreciated. He might have said after 87, 88 minutes it would be a tough one. Has the last minute winner changed your mind?
Probably. No, I think I'm going to have to give it to Ricardo today. I think he's been a constant thorn in the side of Everton. His industrious work. At times he's playing like an out-and-out winger. I could have given it to Johnny Evans, but I'll give it to Johnny again. The lads in the studio will absolutely kill me. So I'm going to give it to Ricardo because I thought he was brilliant down that right-hand side today.
Leicester City win this game by 2-1. Kelechi Iheanacho winning the game for Leicester off the bench and into the headlines. VAR playing its part. Jamie Vardy had equalised after Richarlison had given Everton a 1-0 lead, and now the players applauding the fans who have all remained and will be delighted with yet another win. Leicester City up to second place in the Premier League table. Full time here, Leicester City 2, Everton 1.
Thanks, Chris. Well, elsewhere in the Premier League today, Norwich 2, Arsenal 2 at Carrow Road earlier on. It was Wolves 1, Sheffield United 1, and at Old Trafford it's finished up Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 2. Grealish gave Villa the lead. Own goal from Heaton gave an equaliser for Manchester United. Lindelof put United 2-1 up in the second half, but just 2 minutes later, Tyrone Mings got the equaliser for Aston Villa with his first Premier League goal, so it ended up 2-2 there. But I think we might just stay with this game at King Power Stadium. Leicester City 2, Everton 1. Huge late drama, but Leicester City have taken all 3 points after that VAR decision. In the studio with me, Nev Folger, Matt Elliott and Tony Cottee. Matty, let's start with you. How do you sum up that turn of events?
Yeah, I mean, what drama at the end. And to be honest, I didn't really see it coming. Jerry mentioned on the commentary after about 89 minutes saying, this game's not over yet. But it seemed as if that was the case. It was one of those days, Leicester not at their best. Everton gave it their all, didn't they? And in some ways, even though Leicester were the better team, you almost couldn't begrudge Everton a point if they came away with that. But it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be, was it? And Kelechi Iheanacho, of all people, coming on and being the hero in the last dying seconds. Yeah, wonderful stuff. And then the drama of the VAR, which we're obviously going to discuss for quite a while yet. You know, the rights and wrongs of it. But it's gone Leicester's way, hasn't it? And what's that, 6 out of 6, is it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable run. Just an excellent time. And the force is with Leicester, isn't it?
Do you know what's really interesting? We were getting to added time. We saw there was 3 minutes and we said, well, it can't be because we've had subs, we've had goal celebrations, we've had a couple of injuries. Why is there only 3 minutes? But Tony, you did say there'll be one more chance. Leicester have got to take it. Kelechi Iheanacho could have stopped because a lot of other people seemed to stop. He didn't. He took the chance and let nature take its course.
Yeah, I think it's a separate issue. I think they need to look at the timekeeping because, every goal that's scored now, there seems to be at least a minute celebrating. So there should be a minute for that. You get substitutions, you get injuries.
30 seconds to sub, isn't
exactly,
it?
Yeah, but they don't seem to add it on. And I know it's a minimum of 3 minutes, but surely it should be 5 minutes or whatever. Anyway, I mean, I leant across. I said to you, didn't I? I said, they're going to get one more chance. They've just got to take it. And I'm actually going to give the referee some praise, Graham Scott, because, as I'm watching the action happen in front of me, when the ball was played forward to Iheanacho, the assistant referee very, very quickly put his flag up, very, very early. The flag went up. The referee looked at the assistant and he went to blow. I watched him. I thought he's going to blow up here, but fortunately he didn't, because obviously if he blows up, then I think I'm right in saying then they have to disallow the goal. He's let the play run on, and then of course when they've reviewed it, VAR, as soon as I see the replay, I said he's onside. They're going to give the goal here. So fair play to the referee, fair play to Iheanacho as well. Because it's been difficult times for him, in and out the side. I was saying to you, the worst thing as a forward, well, any player, but even more so as a forward, is to get consistency, to get a run of form, and then people still expect you to score a goal when you get a chance. But He, just kept his head down. He's buried it brilliantly in the corner. What a finish to the game. Great 3 points.
He did okay, Iheanacho as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
In a
a few
roundabout
little
way.
flicks as well, weren't there? A few good flicks.
With Tielemans, when Tielemans should have had a strike. A roundabout way, we'll consider it an assist for Jamie Vardy's goal as well. He made the impact and extra option again for Brendan Rodgers. So Brendan Rodgers is a bit hesitant to play him early parts of the season, but now...
We called it half-time though, Matt, didn't we? We both spoke about it half-time. Eventually there might come a time where you've got to go 2 up front. They had 3 centre-halves. Sometimes you just got to say, we're going to go for this. And fair play to the manager. I know he didn't do it till around about 60 minutes, but it was the right substitution.
Yeah, a tactical change was needed because Everton were very stubborn and very hard to break down.
Yeah, you've got to congratulate Brendan Rodgers. Tactically, he wanted to split those 3 centre-backs, and he did that straight away. And, Iheanacho, who hasn't had many chances. The great thing for me, when he scored and the goal was finally given, the celebrations from the other players to him was terrific. You could see that the rest of the squad were thrilled at Iheanacho finally, playing some sort of part and earning the points. But not for the first time this season, a mixture of VAR and Vardy have combined to provide the 3 points again.
Yeah, Mark says, wow. Dougie says, that was too much. Just chill, Dougie. It's all over. It's 3 points. It's good news. Marco says, good job. Amazing. Paul says, what a game. Fox's family, each and every one of us. Michael says, Foxes never quit. That certainly was right till the end for Leicester City today. Pitaya says, 3 points. And Jonathan says, we are unstoppable. It feels that way right now. Let's bring Jerry back in, because Jerry, actually, we came in during injury time to get ready for the show.
Not everyone.
Tony, he late arrival as usual. But when that goal went in, just sum up what the atmosphere was like in King Power Stadium.
Up until that time, I wish I'd have been inside there with you lads, to be honest with you, but quite remarkable, you have to say. I'd say if it had been a 2-3-0 win or a loss hill away, then, you wouldn't have got the reaction you did, but because of what was hanging on it for both teams, then the celebrations, it was, literally, you're just watching a screen and your future unfold in front of the screen, and the reactions that preceded that was just quite remarkable, you have to say. And the eruption in the stadium was fantastic. Very emotional moment, you have to say.
Matt, times have changed. As Jerry just said, you're waiting, watching a screen, thinking this is what this whole afternoon comes down to. Split second.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? And people are still adjusting to it, but it certainly brings drama, doesn't it? I think it's just strange. People are just trying to get accustomed to it, really, and how it all operates and the effects it can have. I think, Iheanacho has to take a lot of credit for actually finishing off the way he did as well. I think he would have seen the maybe not seen the flag. I think he did well to carry on with the convincing celebration, at least, because he would have seen that flag a couple of seconds before he finished that celebration. But I don't know, the Everton players, did they half stop? Maybe a couple of them sort of switched off.
What you taught as a kid, Matt, one of the golden rules as a kid. Play to the whistle.
No, play to the whistle,
exactly.
But Iheanacho, I felt, I'd have to have a look at it again properly, I suppose, but it felt like he was finishing it off for the sake of it, almost, and thinking, it's probably, the defender seemed to slow down, but I'm going to do it anyway, and see how I go, chance my arm, not expecting to probably get the reward he did, but then when we saw the realisation that, actually, no, he's onside there. You could see even before they put the lasers and the lines and all that, it was like, no, he's onside there. Mina's leg is nearer to the goal. It's like, hang on a minute, this could be the winner. And we were all, we were in here, Tony was on his way through. Yeah. But it just sunk in, didn't it? They're going to pinch this. Yeah. 6 out of 6. They're second in the league still, It's wonderful.
But I'd have to agree with Tony. Whatever complaints we have against VAR, and there are plenty, what we saw today on that offside is why VAR came in. Without VAR, that goal wouldn't have stood. And it was a perfectly legitimate goal. He was onside. There's no question that he was onside.
And the lines for VAR?
I think
you were against it at half-time.
No.
But you got to say I got it right with the penalty as well earlier in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the problem with VAR at the moment, it needs tinkering with. It needs to be quicker. There's got to be, other things. But the reason it was brought in was to get the right decisions, and the right decision came with that penalty, because that was the right decision. It wasn't a penalty, and the goal, which without VAR would have counted as an offside, and we'd have seen it on Match of the Day, proving that he was onside, but that wouldn't have been any consolation to Leicester City. So VAR did what it had to do, on that goal. So we have to accept that VAR's here. There are problems with it. It needs sort of smoothing out and a few things added or taken away from it. But another terrific win.
Yeah, lots of praise for Kelechi Iheanacho coming through. Keep your messages coming. Matt says Nacho was like a man possessed when he came on. Great results. Not the best performance first half, but we keep marching on. Graham says, I'm so pleased for Kelechi as well. The team spirit shown was awesome. Brilliant to the end, says Holly. And Al says, it's going to be a Merry Christmas. Still a long way to go till Christmas. Still 6 more games or so to go. But Leicester City keep on going. But today, Jerry, perhaps the sternest test to date, really. Praise to Everton.
Yeah, well, we were talking before the game about the quality of the Everton team. And you can't underestimate that. And we also, we were talking in the show about, West Ham, who are on a similar vein of form at the minute, and they go to Chelsea, pick up a result. There was lots of draws around today. Was this the week where everyone sort of just evens itself out? But you've got to say, fair play to the players on the pitch. They just keep going, don't they? They just don't know when they're beat. You have to say that right up until the death. To be fair to Everton, they tried even when it was 1-1, and they were still trying to get forward and cause problems as well. So it was just one of those ding-dong games. It may not have been the quality right at the final, imminent point of where you're going to score, but the intention was there for both teams, you have to say.
In that second half, Tony, we were watching the Arsenal game earlier and saying Arsenal are trying to score the perfect goal. Were Leicester a bit guilty of that at times in that second half? There was a lot of nice close interplay, but just at the end, that final pass wasn't happening.
Yeah, I think sometimes there should have been a few more shots on goal. It's hard to be critical sometimes, because you're looking at a player getting into the box, and sometimes you're thinking it's the right thing to do. But I think, was it Tielemans? Was it Tielemans, Matt, who
put one across? Yeah, when he
just didn't really look and just tried to square it, and really should have been shooting for goal. So I don't know, maybe it's something to work on. But it's great. We saw Jamie Vardy do it at Brighton last week. Which when you're 2v1 on a goalkeeper, it's the right thing to do. There are times when you get in the box and you've got to have that ruthless, selfless streak in your head and your mind. I'm going to shoot and go for goal. I think Vardy's got that. I think Iheanacho's got that. But some of the midfield players, they're getting in the box and they're just trying to cut the ball back. Sometimes you just got to smash it towards goal. And I think they could have done that a little bit more today, Leicester.
I think as well, it's worth noting, I thought Vardy took his goal brilliantly. Yeah. Because it wasn't the easiest. It was a very, very tight angle coming in on that far post. And
he's done well to take the gamble, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a shot as well, wasn't it? From him?
Yeah. I mean, he hardly got any space to shoot at, and I thought it was a terrific finish from Vardy.
But also backs up what Tony was just saying of have a shot, because Iheanacho, he's had a shot, and it's a fantastic pass.
Yeah. No, exactly. But when he had a shot before that, Iheanacho, didn't he? Pickford parried out. Tony was saying, what happened to Vardy on that one?
He stopped his run, didn't he?
Yeah, Vardy was, I think he was waiting for a pullback possibly, which faulted his run. But he was waiting for him to go and sniff the pieces for that. But he did exceptionally well. Yeah, to be poaching on the miss hit basically by Iheanacho to get the equaliser.
Well, he'll get an assist now and a goal. That's not bad, isn't it?
No, exactly. Top that up again. Didn't feature much until. Vardy didn't feature much, did he? Until he got himself a goal. But there was another Vardy header.
Should have scored, possibly. They were there.
Yeah, one or two other situations. Leicester weren't at their fluent best, energetic best today, really. And Everton have to take credit for that. But Leicester finding ways. And they've got so many avenues to score these days, which is obviously being beneficial.
Yeah, Sue says, have me sitting on the edge of my seat. Brilliant, lads. Shows no game is easy, but you're always my winners. Stuart says, European tour. Calm down, Stuart. Peter says, we are Premier League. And Christopher says, LCFC take a bow. Keep your messages coming. Any questions about the game, of course, for Nev, Matt and Tony, then please do get in touch with those. Let's have a little look at the Premier League table, because it's nice viewing for Leicester City. In first place are Liverpool, played 14, 40 points. Leicester City in second, played 14 at 32 points, which means just 8 points away from that critical staying up 40 points number. That's what you want. Manchester City in third, played 14, 29, so 3 points behind Leicester. Chelsea in fourth, played 14, 26, and then that fifth place spot goes to Tottenham. They played 14, 20. 12 points ahead of fifth place, Tony. That's a lovely place to be.
It is. It's a massive gap, isn't it? But I think quietly the Leicester boys will be thinking better things than just qualifying for the Champions League at the moment. If I'm in that dressing room, I'll be looking round me. I'll be saying, you know what, we've got some good players, good young players. If you can keep everyone fit, keep getting the results. This was a massive result today. Everton, to be fair, they come with a shape that was going to cause Leicester problems, playing the back five, made it really, really difficult. But these are the games when you're 1-0 down at half time. I said it. These are the games that you got to win these games if you want to push on. And looking at the fixtures, I think things are going to change over the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks, and it could be really, really exciting stuff by the time we get to Christmas.
Yeah, Tim says, man, they never quit. Huge play from Nacho off the bench. Great passing through traffic, even when Everton had 10 men back, clogging up the lane. Seemed like we were only a touch away from getting a few more. Onyeka's been in touch saying, finally, Iheanacho is back. And Don says, dug in, kept going, and got the result. Iheanacho, great to see him coming good. Yeah, massive day for him. We'll hear from some of those involved in today's game. We've sent Dan down to the touchline to try and catch up with the manager and some of the players, and we'll have some highlights for you very soon to just recap what's been a brilliant afternoon for Leicester City. You gave Ricardo man of the match, Jerry, and don't worry, you wouldn't have got any stick if you gave it to Johnny Evans. We wouldn't do that to you.
Oh yes, he would.
Yeah, no.
I thought you got exactly the right man, Jerry.
We all said, obviously you were just out doing your final summing up, and we all looked round and said Ricardo all together. So it was just another full of energy display from him, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's got everything, hasn't he? He can create. His passing's excellent. When you least expect it, he just produces a burst of energy from the middle section of the pitch, and it gets Leicester City right on the front foot yet again. And he's did that time and time and time again today. When you think nothing can happen where he is on the pitch, he creates something out of nothing. One way is passing, and two ways energy, and he's just a joy to watch, I have to say.
It takes such class as well, Nev, to be able to manufacture something when Everton were so solid at the back and there wasn't much room to play in.
Yeah, I think he had a terrific performance. I'd agree entirely with Jerry. I mean, he certainly would be my man of the match by some distance. I thought he caused more problems to Everton, I think, than anybody really. On the breaks down that right-hand side. He and Perez in the first half, there was a good combination, but it didn't quite come off at times. But again, credit to Iheanacho, when he came on, he got involved, and again Ricardo was involved with him with little passes and touches, and he could have scored himself, couldn't he? Again, Ricardo. I don't know who's keeping out that Portuguese side at right back, but they've got to be some player if they're keeping him out of that Portuguese team, because he looks world class almost. But when you see him today, I mean, he's not forgetting his defensive duties either, is he? He gets back and still tackles, and yet he's got boundless energy. I don't know how he keeps it going.
Yeah, one of the really pleasing things that Brendan Rodgers must be looking at is thinking, okay, if we're having a bit of pressure down the right, using Ricardo as our outlet, and that's just failing, all of a sudden you've got these other options to mix it up. We had spells down the left with Harvey Barnes and Ben Chilwell providing the real outlet, and that's just an amazing thing. It's not all reliant on one area of the pitch. No,
it's not, and I would almost say as well that the midfield today wasn't quite at it. I think Perez had a quiet game. Harvey Barnes at times was okay. Maddison really get involved too much. Tielemans was all right, I think you have days like that. You know, they're not going to be brilliant every single match, as much as Leicester are playing really well. And when that happens, me and Matt were talking, you're saying you need someone to bring it out from the back or someone to try something different. And Didi did it for the first goal. He broke from midfield, plays it to Iheanacho, they get the goal. Ricardo was doing it all the time. Chilwell was doing it. But that's what you need, especially when a team like Everton packed the midfield, made it very hard for the Leicester midfield players. You need someone to just come out from the back, make little 2v1s, play little 1-2s, and that's where you just create things. And Ricardo did that brilliantly, and Chilwell as well on the left-hand side.
Yeah, you mentioned Ndidi as well. In the second half, Jerry, he seemed to be a real force driving things through the centre of the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if you go back to what Tony was saying, they were playing a flat back five at times, and they were playing four in midfield with Calvert-Lewin up front on his own, and that enabled Wilfred, that four-man midfield, because they were so flat, just enabled Wilfred to then pick the ball up and drive forward with it, because he had a bit of time and space in the middle of the park there. I think what Everton were trying to do was to stop Leicester. They were initially trying to stop Leicester coming through the middle and try and force them out wide and then stop the crosses coming in. So it was up to people like, what I said about Ricardo, to create something from nothing, or people like Ndidi, Tielemans, to then drive through the middle of the park to beat that first man and hopefully get Leicester on the front foot in the, on the edge of the Everton box.
Chagla Suncho was one man trying to bring the ball out of defence at times as well, going on a couple of mazy runs, Matt.
Yeah, with varied fortunes as well. A little bit erratic today, wasn't he? But he largely got away with it. It was a mixture of good and bad, wasn't there? Like, for instance, the start of the second half, he did a nice little turn and gave away the ball cheaply. So it was a little bit more like his early days, I think, in the shirt. But still solid enough defensively, though, weren't they? Himself and the defensive unit as a whole. I mean, Everton were half decent today, but Schmeichel was still not tested, other than the goal, really. Not Sancho, if you're going to mention him in particular, not his best game of the season, but
I was just remembering that mazy run where you're coming out and you're going, no, oh yeah, okay, now get rid of it. No,
yeah,
now.
Well, and he just put it out of play.
Yeah.
Well,
there was one he came out and he threw a couple of dummies.
In the first half,
brought it out.
He's performing exceptionally well, wasn't it? Going by his recent extremely high standards, it wasn't quite there today.
Yeah, I guess there was one moment he did have a little bit of to do with Moise Kean, didn't he, down on the touchline just moments after Kean attacked him in the box, and you saw him wanting to go in for a big tackle, and it could have that just a little bit of naivety maybe that could cost Leicester at some point.
Yeah, there was a near thing that might have been a penalty when somebody went down, got caught, but I noticed on the scoreboard just after that. There's some stats came up about Soinchu, and he only committed one foul in the match. Well, there was a lot of fouls, niggling ones really, that the referee was stopping. But I'd agree with Matt. It wasn't his best game. I think he was given in the first half certainly more trouble than we've seen him in before. But he still did a very, very decent job.
Let's hear the final thoughts of Jerry Taggart. What would you say going away from today's game? How are you going to sum it up when you're talking to people about what you've seen?
Well, a thoroughly enjoyable game of football, and most conversations I have about football are the negative side of VAR. So today, when I'm talking to people, I say, well, VAR did exactly what everyone has wanted it to do. The amount of time in the past that I've spent going through videos where the assistant referee has got it wrong and offsides that weren't offsides, thankfully today the VAR gets a big tick in the box and Leicester carry on regardless.
Jerry Taggart, thank you for your time. Have a safe trip home.
See you, Gerald.
Thank you.
See you, Tags.
Sharon's been in touch saying, I'm a Liverpool fan, but go on Leicester, a truly great side under Brendan Rodgers. Second place without a doubt, and if we slip up, well, who else could catch us? In reply to that, thank you for getting in touch. David says, Liverpool, we are coming to get you. And this is why. This is what happened at King Power Stadium this afternoon.
Well, Life as a Fox is pretty good at the moment, flying high in the Premier League, scoring plenty of goals, not conceding many goals, and with a chance today of going second in the table. Now the ball over the top for Tielemans, his header into the box, Vardy under pressure, here's Perez in the box, just stabs the ball goalwards, didn't really get the required power or contact on the ball, and it was simple for Pickford. On that far side, the right, 2 yards in from the touchline, nice ball, Perez inside the penalty area, Perez's right foot shot, only just wide. Once again an example of intelligent movement from the Spaniard, found himself in a pocket of space inside the box, right foot shot may have been half across, it went wide in either case, and it remains 0-0. Everton moving forward, this is Sidibe, right hand side of the penalty area, low ball in, that's headed in! And Everton have the lead. Richarlison gets across his man, nods in the opening goal, and this was not in the script. It's Leicester 0, Everton 1. Barnes, beautiful flick away from Holgate. Vardy, left-hand side of the penalty area. Vardy is well challenged by Yerry Mina once again. Chilwell, though, goes down. Penalty! Ben Chilwell wins Leicester City a penalty. Confirmation that the penalty is being checked. No penalty, which must mean that the VAR thinks Ben Chilwell has dived. Ricardo tries to win the ball quickly and does so, or rather indeed he does. Ricardo has it now, Vardy wants it played through, Ricardo continues, he might do it all himself, good save, Jordan Pickford. Ricardo did fancy it all himself. Memories of last year, but he just couldn't quite find the finish. Now then, indeed, he's surging through midfield, he's away from two, he's got Iheanacho one side and Vardy the other, it goes to Kelechi Iheanacho, Vardy arriving at the back post, and we all know what that means. Jamie Vardy just does not miss those. He gets his 13th Premier League goal of the season, he scores in his 6th consecutive Premier League game, but forget those records for now, the most important stat, the equaliser, Leicester 1, Everton 1, headed away by Barnes, away from Calvert-Lewin, he goes past Davis and sets off towards the edge of the penalty area, Vardy's out left, it goes to Vardy now, his ball in, Maddison's touch, great save Pickford, anywhere else and that was 2-1, Ricardo can cross, touch to steady himself, maybe taking on Dean is an option, and he does so into the penalty area, Tielemans lifted to the back post, around the back is Vardy, and he heads it over the bar. And he would have fancied himself to nod in there. Instead, it's only just over the bar, but a lovely Leicester move. Everton now loose in possession. Tielemans runs away with it. Inside the centre circle, Ricardo's overlapping. Oh, is the ball through to Iheanacho? He's offside. Flag goes up. Iheanacho finishes brilliantly, but he's offside. The flag went up a long time ago. Iheanacho doesn't realise it, and now he looks. He went through with a very good celebration, but the flag went up. Now, the VAR will look because the assistant referees are told not to flag if it's tight. Graham Scott still with the finger in his ear. Jordan Pickford in discussion. The referee has given the goal. Leicester City, courtesy of Kelechi Iheanacho and the video assistant referee, have surely won this game. It'll be the 6th straight Premier League win. It'll be a new Premier League record for the club, and it'll equal consecutive wins in the top flight. Kelechi Iheanacho would have wanted that goal to have been given straight away, but he'll certainly settle for the VAR given goal. And Leicester now lead this game 2-1 with just seconds to go.
Your place for all the big moments. You're listening to Matchday Live on LCFC Radio.
What a finish at King Power Stadium. Leicester City 2, Everton 1. Maureen says, well done lads, never gave up. Also had a very emotional Michael getting touchdown. I had tears in my eyes. Hopefully that's not just made it all the waterworks start again hearing that back, Michael. And Boyk has been in touch saying how good it was Ricardo today. Yeah, we've mentioned him already on the show. He got our man of the match and he's been talking to Dan Bates.
Ricardo, what an incredible end to the game. But it's yet another win.
Yeah, it was good until the end. We show character. We believe in the result in our game. So it feels very good to win the game like this.
You were behind for so long in the game as well, but you seem to show belief. And did you as a group always know you could get back into the game?
Yeah, because I think we were playing well. I think against Burnley we didn't play that well, and we were losing today. I think we were playing well, and we know if we keep going like that, the goal would appear. And fortunately for us, that's what happened.
That's 6 wins in a row now, which is a Premier League record for Leicester City. What is it like to be part of this group and part of this winning run at the moment?
It's good. I didn't know that, but I think we have to keep our feet in the ground, keep working. We know we have a game in 3 days, so we have to keep going like this and keep growing this momentum.
I guess when you win a game so late like that, you talked about momentum going into the next game. You must all be so excited, so ready for that next game now.
Yeah, of course. We are winning, we are playing well, we are enjoying our game, and that feels good, and that's good to have a game in 3 days.
The moment at the end, you played the ball through for Kelechi and went and celebrated with him. You both seemed confident that he was onside and that the goal would stand, even though the flag was up.
Yeah, when I did the pass, I thought he was level with the defender. And fortunately for us, when I saw the flag, I said, no, he can't be like that. So fortunately we celebrated twice.
And that moment at the end, the togetherness in this group, you could just see it. Everyone was together and it was a celebration as a team.
Yeah, it seems like everybody was the scorer. I think we were all happy for him and for the team, and we are together in this.
And a personal note for you as well, another assist. It's the 94th minute and you're a defender, but you were up there and you're creating yet again, which is obviously such a big part of your game.
Yeah, like I said, normally I'm here to defend first, but then if I can give my help in front, I will do that.
Dan Bates talking to Ricardo there. We've sent him off to try and get a word with Kelechi Iheanacho as well, so we'll hear from the man of the moment very, very shortly. But, you know, we've heaped the praise on Ricardo already today. Let's talk about some of the points he's made there. He's just kind of showed how humble the team are. They said about, that was a bit more like the Burnley game because we weren't good enough in that game. And it's all right for anyone else to say you're not being quite good enough. It's all right for management. But actually for the players to come out and say, we know where we're going wrong, that's a really encouraging sign, Matt.
Yeah, very much so. I think, he was sort of saying they were, against Burnley we weren't quite clicking, and he felt they were quite comfortable until they conceded against Everton. So, you know, it rocked them a little bit, but it didn't really knock them out of their stride, though, did it? I don't, you know, they weren't quite as, it wasn't vintage Leicester, if you like, if they've been playing well enough to call it vintage, but for long enough. But Everton made it difficult for them, but the belief was there to keep going. I mean, a lot of people, myself included, I thought it was going to peter out to the draw. Even when Leicester got the equaliser. I mean, Tony, fair play, he was saying, I think if Leicester get one, they'll get two. And you thought ordinarily that would be the case, but Everton didn't crumble all of a sudden. And Leicester did have one or two chances, yes, but it looked like it was going to dwindle out. But they just kept going. They've got that perseverance, that belief and faith in them. They've got different avenues, as we were saying there. It wasn't quite the day for Barnes, Perez, Maddison, Tielemans to a lesser extent. Indeed, he went and made the difference, unexpectedly. And Iheanacho made the difference, even more unexpectedly. You know, the options are building and multiplying for Brendan Rodgers as the weeks go by, which it bodes even better, doesn't it?
Yeah, Dan says that's what it's all about, a great fighting victory. In a way, that's better than the 9-0 against Southampton. Of course, that broke all the records, but when you have a battling result like that, as Tony said earlier today, Nev, those 5-0s, those 9-0s, the games are done and dusted pretty quickly.
Yeah, but we were all saying, you know, Tony and Matt at half-time, that, you know, the second half was going to prove, you know, one thing with Leicester. Have they still got, you know, the mental strength, the character, the will to win? Can they dig deep and get a win from a position where they're losing 1-0? And they've done it, you know, in style. I will agree. I don't think the football has reached the heights that it's reached in certain games, but that's been against opposition that's not sat back with, you know, 5 defenders against them. So I was impressed by the way they kept going. You know, Ricardo was the key to that with the energy, because the energy around the side in that second half was fantastic. And I think I think the stats showed we had something like 76% of possession, but it wasn't just possession for the sake of it. They were doing things in the second half, and they did have other chances before, the VAR goal.
Leicester are relentless as well, aren't they? They keep going.
Yeah.
It's just their natural game.
And the great thing,
maybe it's
Matt,
the youth in their side or what, I don't know, but they're very strong.
The great thing with them, Matt, as well, is the depth of the squad.
Yeah.
And Brendan Rodgers has been talking about that they're going to need the whole squad in December with the number of games. Well, you've seen today, with Iheanacho, that he has got people that can do a job.
Yeah, Andy says not our best performance, but we dug deep to get the 3 points. Sign of a great team. Derek says absolutely incredible. Brilliant team performance. These guys play to the final whistle and play to win, and they are doing just that. John says won it by 2 inches. Hey, they all count, John. They all count, my friend. And Mahmood says so happy to win such a difficult match. Also, something Ricardo was mentioning, Tony, was the game that's coming up really quickly on Wednesday against Watford. When you've not played your best, most scintillating football of the season, you're probably thinking, right, let's get back out there and let's get back to what we were
play
at.
Bottom of the league at home.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a difficult game, isn't it? And, as we were talking about earlier, not change the manager. Knowing Watford, they probably will have a manager in place by the time they get here on Wednesday. I'll be surprised if they haven't. It'll be another tough game, and they've got talented players as well, Watford, so they're going to have to be at it. I'm just sitting here thinking of how difficult. I don't know whether you remember, Matt, but in training sometimes you'd play your first 11 against like 9 players, and you just remember how difficult it used to be. Like if you played against say like a back 5 with 3 in front of them, and you're playing on a full size pitch, and you've got 2 players more. And it's still very difficult to break down if they're well organised, because basically you go down the left, everyone shuffles over. You then switch the play, you go down the right.
We only had a squad of 18 back then, didn't we?
Yeah, but I remember
get 2 11s out.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember doing it a few times. I remember doing it at Everton as well, where you do it, and remember how difficult it was. And you think, what? It's not right. We've got 2 extra players, and you still can't break them down. And that was how well organised Everton were. So,
but even less than that. If you want to go to extremes, a back 4 and 1 holding midfielder.
Yeah,
that's it. If a back 4 are just sitting in place, it's tough.
It's really tough.
They're not, obviously in that situation. They're not going to get drawn out.
And Leicester had to be patient. Leicester had to be really, really patient, and that's what I admire about them. They don't seem to panic, which is a good thing. They just keep probing. If they have to play on the counter attack, they can do that. If they're winning the game, they can absorb, defend, and then hit them on the counter attack. If they've got a probe, they've got to open teams up. They can do that as well. And if they need to be patient, they can do that as well. They've got a bit of everything, which really bodes well for them.
You saw evidence of that against Brighton last week, for instance, playing on the counter at times, other times dominating the game and. It happens week in, week out. And how do teams deal with that, really? You can deal with one way, you've got another way. And then something else opens up.
Yeah. You were at Southampton for the 9-0. And, what you've been talking about there, that was the thing that staggered me watching it on TV, that Southampton didn't do what you said.
That's what they should have done, yeah.
They should have just made sure it was difficult to, but Leicester just walked through them, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Everton today, that never happened, and it was hard work for Leicester to get the 2 goals.
Did Everton show that they will be all right this season, despite the tough stuff?
Everton will be all right. Before today, they'll be all right. I don't think there's any genuine relegation fears, but they don't want to be where they still are now in the league. I'm not sure exactly what spot they are, but it's
one
not
place above relegation.
Yeah, but there's a lot worse sides than Everton. Over the course of the season, without a doubt, they had a go today. Strong, physical, and certainly on today's evidence, decently well organised. And we've all said it as well. So we've seen Marco Silva being interviewed before the game. People were saying if Everton loses today, he'll probably get the sack. On that evidence, he's going to get at least another couple more games. But that might not do him any good, though. Yeah, they've got some rascals coming up.
Right, plenty more to talk about, but we can head back down to the tunnel area where Dan Bates is with the man of the moment, Kelechi Iheanacho.
Kelechi, you were the hero today. What was that moment like right at the very end there?
It was a great moment. First game of the season, first goal and assist. So I'm really buzzing. I'm happy today. And it all came from the hard work in training. So I've been working hard and keeping my head up, waiting for the opportunity to come. And I'm happy it came and I took it.
You certainly did take the opportunity. So when you were coming onto the pitch, what were you thinking?
So I was just concentrating on the game and watching the game and how the game is going. And when the manager said you're going to come in, so I was confident. And of course, they're my teammates. They know what I can do, and I know what they can do. I know where the pass is going to come. We work together in training, and we've been playing together, so everyone knows everybody. So we're happy that we had this great moment today.
We'll go to the assist first, because that came first, the equaliser, a very important moment in the game, that.
Yeah, it's very important, the equaliser. So when I came in, they said, "Kale, keep going," and I know you can do it. So, and I was confident. First touch, second touch, and everything came off. So the assist brilliant, and Jamie is always going to get at the end of it.
And then the goal itself, the moment at the end, you seemed confident that you were onside the whole time.
Yeah, and I felt that I was onside. So, and a brilliant pass from Ricky, took a touch and the bottom corner. So it was a brilliant finish, and I'm happy. What
were you feeling when you looked up at the screens and it said goal given?
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was confident that it's going to count, because I was confident I was onside. So, and when they were checking the goal, I was like, oh my God, hopefully it counts. But as God may have it, they counted, and it was 2-1. So we're happy we got the 3 points today.
And what was that moment like at the end when everybody celebrated in a huddle? It shows the togetherness that's in this group. Yeah, to be fair, this team, starting from the players, the staff, the manager, everyone, we are all together. So everyone is happy with each other. But those are playing or those are not playing, everyone is happy. It's a great squad. It's a happy place to be in. So I know everyone is happy for me. So they've been waiting for me to do this. So I'm happy as well. So we're all happy.
Kelechi Iheanacho talking to LCFC Radio's Dan Bates. What does that do to a player to have that kind of impact on the game when you've been out of the team for so long?
Well, it was interesting because he said he's been working hard in training, and that's what you've got to do, especially when the team's winning games, because there's nothing you can do. If you're on the bench, you can't be knocking the manager's door down saying, why you're not playing me, because the team's winning, centre forward scoring goals. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is work hard in training, and he said, that's what he said. I've been working hard in training. You've got to keep trying to impress, just keep buzzing away, banging the goals in. And the point he made as well is that his teammates know what he can do. When you're a goal scorer and you're a talented forward, which he is, I think he's not been consistently doing that at Leicester, but there have been glimpses where you can see that he's a good player and he's a good finisher, and you've just got to try and take your chance. But I'll come back to what I said. It is very, very difficult when you come as a sub. Sometimes everything clicks and whatever you try, it all comes off like it did today. And there's other times you come on as a sub, you're on for 30 minutes, you don't even touch the ball. So, he had a real impression on the game today. But Leicester needed that. They really did. They needed a spark, and he provided it.
We can talk more about him very soon, but right now we can head back to Dan, who is with Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan, an unbelievable end to the game, but what it all means is 3 points and a record-breaking Premier League win as well for Leicester City.
Yeah, some of the guys just mentioned that, so which is great. Yeah, I thought we thoroughly deserved to win the game. They obviously are good players. They came sat 5-4-1, and against any team that is always difficult. It's always going to be about patience. Then of course they score the goal, and then it makes it even more difficult because then they get something to hang on to. But we said at half time we'll give it 10-15 minutes, and we need to change the dynamic in the game. The players knew what shape we would go to, introduce another striker, and once we did that, then the whole momentum of the game went with ourselves. So yeah, the players thoroughly deserved it. Like I say, they had the intent and to impose our way and wanted to win the game and everything. Their technical and tactical qualities, their resilience, their spirit, everything came through and ended up being a great victory for us.
We've seen some fantastic performances by substitutes in recent games, but that was a game-changing one from Kelechi Iheanacho today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was so pleased for him because there's him and a number of other guys that don't feature so much and sometimes not even on the bench. But that's a result of how hard he works, and he stays focused. He's very much there for the team, and I think what he showed his quality today. His set-up play was very good when he came into the game. He was aggressive, he was strong, and He had an assist, and he scored a wonderful goal. So yeah, it was a brilliant performance by him. I think all the players were so happy for him in there afterwards, and as we all are, because there's a lot of guys that are playing regular, but he's the guy that came into the game today and was the hero for us. And you've seen the reaction through the whole stadium, so it was fantastic.
Can you talk us through your emotions and what you were thinking when you saw the ball hit the back of the net and then the flag? What and then the reaction afterwards when the goal was given? It was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. The reaction once the goal was given was amazing. So happy, when you see your players delighted. I was also trying to get the message on about their concentration as well, because you got to, as happy as you are, you got to see the job through. But it was great for the stadium, and I must say I thought it was a good day for VAR. They get a lot of stick, and the referees get a lot of stick. However, it showed that it probably wasn't a penalty in the first half for us. So, and like I've always said, you either get them or you won't get them. And then Graham, he allowed the play to go on even though the flag was up. We get the goal, and it's shown that it was onside. So yeah, it was great for us, and we're obviously delighted with the 3 points.
And scoring so late like that, winning the game, must be the perfect tonic going into that game on Wednesday as well.
Yeah, I think it shows. I said before the game that the word we're looking for today was relentless, and that's really about a continuation of fight and pushing and looking to get the win, and the players did that. So yeah, despite conceding the first goal, we've shown an incredible mentality to come back and win the game and play some great football. So I'm really pleased.
Brendan Rodgers there talking about today's game to LCFC Radio's Dan Bates. A really interesting point we didn't mention is actually when that goal went in, he's saying, it was an amazing moment, but I needed to get the message on that we really needed to concentrate, because you could just see it, the type of game it was. Yeah. There was lots of space on the pitch, and actually if you lost your head for a moment, all of a sudden they had some speedy players that could have got in behind, but Leicester did see it through, and as Brendan Rodgers says, he's really taken they've taken the advice that he's given them.
Yeah, they still had a little bit of work to do, didn't they? One or two situations, but you thought, surely not. After getting the late sudden death winner, effectively, you're not going to let that slip, are you? Last gasp winner, but it was amazing, really, and we were sitting here trying to think of similar times, like since VAR has been introduced. There have been some dramatic moments, but probably not quite as
93rd
intense as that. Yeah, that late on in the game and the outcome of it, and the realisation. Like I say, as soon as we saw the offside on the rerun, I was like, that's going to get given, that surely, unless it's something else we missed and we haven't. But there's so many bits and pieces in it. But I'm still not happy. I mean, even Brendan Rodgers is at it now, but you can't. But we officially giving Kelechi an assist for that muffed shot.
And Kelechi said he's had an assist.
He said it without a smirk as well, didn't he? Without a hint of irony there. But no, fair play, claim what you can while you can, isn't it? But yeah, he's struggled a bit at times, in fairness, hasn't he? And fair play to Brendan Rodgers as well, because he's been brought up and he's been mentioned a couple of times, Iheanacho, hasn't he? And Brendan's always been quick to pronounce that he's definitely still part of the squad. The media maybe are trying to farm him out for Christmas already, and Brendan's like, no, he's part of the squad, and as much as any other player, and that's proved to be the case. He's come on in the Carabao Cup, done well on a couple of occasions, hasn't he? And shown his quality today, and Leicester needed him today.
Do you think that Brendan Rodgers might be tempted to play a match with two strikers up after seeing what happened this afternoon?
I think Brendan's open to any eventuality. I think he'll consider things. We saw in pre-season he tried the little diamond formation, which didn't work, did it, against Stoke? Not to say it couldn't in another situation, but yeah, I think without a doubt he'd consider that at certain games and certain stages of the season.
It's an option, but at the moment he doesn't need to.
No,
because
exactly,
you're on a run, you're on a club record run of winning games. So listen. First thing you do on Monday morning. Everyone fit, boys? Yeah, great, brilliant. Same team.
Yeah. Oh,
you
same
don't,
team.
You don't need to change it. But what he does deserve credit for, Brendan. He said we spoke about it at half time. He told the boys what was going to happen if after 15 minutes nothing's changed, and he did. He made the change. We spoke about it at half time. It was obvious you needed to go 2 up. So it's a sign of a good manager. He recognised the problem. He told the boys what was going to happen when I'd make the change. Gone the 2 up front, and it made a huge difference.
I was going to say, I mean, Matt mentioned it, that already some of the papers and that are farming Iheanacho out in the January transfer window. I don't think that will happen. I mean, because without Iheanacho for me is the only sort of other striker, out and out striker to play with Vardy or in place of Vardy.
Unless they've got someone to replace him, they can't let him go.
Consider him. He considers himself a centre forward, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he's not in the same mould.
Oh no. But if Vardy gets injured, you at the moment you'd have to go with Iheanacho, in his place, because there's no other that I know of that, unless they're going to buy somebody themselves in the transfer window. But when you see Iheanacho, okay, it was only a 20-minute sort of little spell for him. But when you see him play like he did this afternoon, and Brendan Rodgers saying he was getting stuck in, he looked strong, and that's what he hasn't looked before when he's been physically.
And it's not easy to do that when you're not playing over a period of time.
But I was impressed with him today.
Did well.
With his absolute contribution. So I think the January transfer window is going to be a big, very important to Leicester. A, keeping their best players, and B, making sure that he's got the people there that he'll need, for the running.
It's also about the people management, like you mentioned there, Tony, is at half-time they've talked about what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Kelechi Iheanacho knows that if nothing changes, he's coming on.
Yeah.
So, but if he was a nervous player, he might say, actually, I won't give him that information because for 15 minutes he's going to be sitting there going, right, what am I going to do?
I think players know, though, Lewis. You know, if you're sitting on the bench, if I'm Kelechi watching the game, I'm thinking, we need to go 2 up front here. We're struggling today. I need to be ready. I need to have a good warm up at half time, which he probably did. And itching to go. And then if the manager says, make sure you're ready, because if things don't change, you're going on 60 minutes. So he knew anyway. So he would have gone on in the right frame of mind. It was a very positive interview that he gave. And as I say, he brings something different to the table. He hasn't done it consistently, but he hasn't been given a chance to play, pure and simply because of Jamie Vardy.
It's intelligent management, though, the point you brought up from Brendan Rodgers there, to put it in the players' heads, so that they know, okay, we'll give it a go like this, but they're not sitting there thinking, it's not working today, and they're getting a bit tense and anxious themselves. Okay, if this don't work, we've got this. And then they're waiting for that to happen. So it doesn't just become a mad scramble and hope for the best. It's not putting players in attacking positions just for the sake of it. There's a structured reason behind it.
Watford next up then on Wednesday. They've played 14, won just one of their games, drawn 5, lost 8, sitting bottom of the Premier League. Of course, lost their manager today. What do you expect from that, Nev?
Well, I mean, Tony's mentioned it again. They've lost the manager, but often that produces a bounce in the team. We don't know whether they'll have another manager full time by Wednesday. I doubt that they will, unless they've got somebody in mind already. One of the backroom staff presumably will take over. One of the coaches.
Another back five.
Yeah.
Still face.
Well,
probably.
I was going to say, I think they'll probably face the same thing they had today, 5-4, 5-4-1. I'll be staggered if Watford
something similar, wouldn't it?
Yeah, don't play that way. But I'd certainly expect Leicester to win the game again against Watford.
I think it's interesting what you mentioned about the 2 up front. Would Brendan Rodgers go for it, knowing what Watford are likely to bring?
Could be seeing Kelechi soon, you think?
Do you think, would that be in your head?
It will be in his head, but as I say, I don't think he'll start with him.
I'd agree,
It's hard to change a team that's won so many games on the trot. It really is. And all right, you had to tweak it to get the result, but you still normally go back to saying, same again, lads, same again. There's no need to change it, but you've got a brilliant substitution to come on. You've got Albrighton. I don't know what's happened with Damari Gray, whether it's a bad injury or what, I don't know, but you've got options. When these players, Dennis Pratt, when they come on, they give you options and can change things.
And the last memory Leicester City are leaving tonight with are those celebrations. They're going to return. They're going, I remember what happened the other day. Let's have a bit more of that.
And at moments like that as well, just bring you even closer together. I mean, they've got a good spirit, genuine spirit within the ranks, but moments like that, it makes all the hard work all worthwhile. and they've got, well, not the rub of the green, but fortune has maybe gone their way. They've got the rightful decision, but I'm just seeing little bits there on social media. Christian Fuchs is doing little screenshots and videos, celebrations in the changing room themselves, and it's genuine there. They're all patting Kelechi on the back of the head, all pleased for him, and that's boosting and bolstering the squad as well. If he's performing and playing well, there's an extra buoyancy and extra confidence as well, and to score that late on, it was all dramatic and everything, wasn't it?
It's the best VAR moment so far. We're only 14 games in, but by far the best VAR moment.
It gives you like an emotional buzz. People are speaking about it. People who are commenting in, and anyone who's watching that happen. Unfortunately, we missed it because we were walking in here. We only saw it on the screen, but even that was good enough.
Yeah.
But it gives you a natural lift, and can't wait again for the next game.
I'd echo very quickly Brendan Rodgers' remark about congratulating the referee. Not because I think you said if he'd have blown, you couldn't have turned it over. So congratulations to him.
Well, Nev, Matt, Tony, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to LCFC Radio this afternoon. So Kelechi Iheanacho plays to the whistle and sends Leicester second in the league. See you Wednesday.
Indeed, he's surging through midfield. He's away from two. He's got Iheanacho one side and Vardy the other. It goes to Kelechi Iheanacho. Vardy arriving at the back post. And we all know what that means. Jamie Vardy just does not miss those. Iheanacho offside. The flag went up a long time ago. Iheanacho doesn't realise it, and now he looks. Now VAR is the chance. The referee has given the goal. Leicester City, courtesy of Kelechi Iheanacho and the video assistant referee, have surely won this game.
For more in-depth analysis, reaction and extended highlights, head to lcfc.com.